Hey guys, Tom here. I'm in Atkinson, North Carolina. I'm the admin for North Carolina Permaculture on Facebook. And I am just kind of getting this bed set up right here. I thought I'd make a video and show you. I've got an issue that the soil that I moved to here in my new property doesn't have a lot of organic matter in it. So when I planted these plants, the soil that I left on the top of the surface here is crusting. And you can see it as I'm spraying it here, how white that is. There's not a lot of organic matter in it, so the water is not even really penetrating, to be honest. If I were to put my finger in it or move the topsoil back a little bit, you'll see that it's just crusting, and the water is kind of beating off and running in little channels and running right off the surface. So it's real important that we get some organic matter on the surface, a debris layer. And that's what I'm doing today. I've got some leaves that I've mulched up, and that's because these are strawberries down here and a lot of other plants in between. Like there's some garlic chives and yarrow, and it looks like there's I planted a little what would that be, echinacea coming up, and over here there's wild rocket, and that's oregano. So what I'm doing, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing this, so instead of getting on my hands and knees and spending all day trying to get the mulch around the plants, like wheat straw or something, I find it to be a lot easier if we just take leaves and run them through the chipper shredder a little bit to get them in a smaller particle, and then do a little bit of broadcasting. But before that, I like to make sure that there's some beneficial microbes. And so what I've got, some compost tea that I'm brewing on my back porch here. I got a cone brewer, very excited about that. And this is some good tea. And plus I've got a little bit of soil in there in addition to vermicast. I took soil from that really old oak. You see this giant oak? It's like this mass right there, but the trunk is gigantic. It had a partner right here that's a champion laurel oak. So that's a laurel oak, but it's not big enough to be a champion like that one was before it fell. But this is a really old tree, and I took some soil. I've already looked at it in a microscope and found some really interesting organisms, but there's just a ton of protists in there. The protozoa, we have the amoeba, the testate amoebas, and arcelas, and I mean it was just tons and tons of amoebas in there. So I took soil from there and put it in with the vermicast and did a little brew, and now I've got this really good mixture of organisms that are really beneficial for growing plants. And I'm going to be putting that on the surface here now that I've wet it a little bit, and then I'm going to cover it to protect them. But I like to use just simple things like this that don't cost a lot of money. So I just took a water jug and put some holes in the bottom of it with a screwdriver or a knife or a razor blade or something, and I just kind of drizzle it on top. And we're just inoculating, basically, is all this is doing. We're inoculating our soils, getting some of the good guys down there to make sure that they're there. And that way when we cover the soil here, they're going to go to work, and the fungi are going to aggregate this and put interstitial space in it, so it can become hydrophobic, or philic, not hydrophobic. That would be the way it is now, where it's got a crust on the surface. We want it to be hydrophilic. And that's it. I'm just going to do this through the whole thing here. Make sure I get a lot of liquid on there. Just on the surface. It doesn't take much, and this is really concentrated. It's like Elaine Ingham says to use 1 gallon per acre if we're doing an inoculation. But I've got a lot. I've got like about 30 gallons. So I will be doing it to my 9 acres though. So I'm pretty excited about having 9 acres to work. But at this point, I'm just getting what I've got to work with and seeing how everything's working together. Seeing how the vermicast is going to brew up, and so I'm testing it on all these little beds that I've got, basically, and getting everything together here. So once we get the liquid on there, the BioComplete tea, or whatever it is you're using, some inoculant, then that's when the leaves come in. And I would prefer them to be wet, but I put enough moisture on the soil that we can put these down, just drop some on here and then wet it afterwards. So, and I like doing the particles like this of leaves because it goes in between the plants and I don't have to really get on my hands and knees and worry about it, because we're really just trying to protect the microbes for the most part and keep the sunlight off the soil and keep it from crusting. So, and this is plenty to do that. Just do a little scattering there, just so the soil's covered, basically, is the gist of it. And that gives our little microbes dark places to do their work and retains a little of that moisture down there. So, but this is what I'm doing, guys. If you guys want to see what's going on here at the Whistle Stop Wonderland in Atkinson, North Carolina. And then, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this so you guys can see. But after I do the little scatter mulch like that, you turn the water on and then you just spray the plants off so all that debris goes to the base and doesn't stay on the plants. And it also gives you an opportunity to wet what we put down, which is good. But whatever doesn't blow off the plants will blow when the wind goes by. Over the next couple days, it'll dry a little bit and the pieces will flake off. So in about a week or so, it'll all be on the ground underneath the plant. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing, guys. Just thought I'd show you what's going on here. Hope you're having a great day. This is Tom in Atkinson, North Carolina at Whistle Stop Wonderland. Have a great day.